Hello, and welcome to Movie Recap Mania. Today we are going to recap a movie called Boyka Undisputed. Sit back and enjoy, and hit the subscribe button. At the start of the movie, we see a fighter who has just ended a fight and whose sweat is dripping from his face. The movie goes into flashbacks, where we see the environment of a Russian prisoner. In the prison, there is a monster fighter named Koshmar, who not only defeats his opponent but also takes his life. He is famous for his incredible fighting. On the other hand, a renowned fighter and the protagonist of the movie named Yuri Boyka is going to a church carrying a package of religious books. Inside the church, the priest sees him depositing books, but he already knows Boyka's means of subsistence. He tries to teach Boyka that fighting people is against the teachings of Jesus Christ and God, and that he should instead use his prowess for good because God forbids fighting or killing other people. He replies that he has a skill and that wasting one's skill is like sinning. In the next scene, while he is practicing in the training camp, Boyka's manager, Kirill, informs him about an upcoming martial arts tournament in Budapest, and he tells Boyka to take part in the tournament. As the day of the fight arrives, Boyka confronts a Russian fighter named Viktor. After an intense fight, Boyka defeats Viktor, and he keeps blowing in his face even after he gives up. After the fight, when Boyka is going back to his home from the fighting club, he sees Viktor, who seems to be in critical condition. The next day, Boyka goes to the office of his manager and asks him about Viktor's condition. The manager tells him that he has died and has left behind a widow named Alma in Russia. Hearing this, Boyka feels regretful. He asks Kirill to show him Viktor's bag, in which he sees a letter and a picture of Viktor with his wife. Boyka tells Kirill to make him a fake passport because he wants to go to Russia to seek forgiveness from Viktor's wife. Kirill stops him from going to Russia because if he goes there, the police will arrest him as he is a wanted criminal there. But Boyka ignores him and sets out in a van for Russia, but before Boyka leaves, Kirill tells him about the police checkpoints along the way and how he has to talk to policemen. On the other hand, we see Alma performing his late husband's final rituals in a church, and in the meantime, a man named Zurab arrives and asks for the loan her husband owes him. Seeing no other way, Alma agrees to work for him to pay off her husband's debt. In the following scene, we see Boyka has arrived at the address written in the letter, and this place is a community center where some boys and girls are playing football. He sees Alma looking after the small kids in the community center. Before he can talk to Alma, Zurab's men take her to a fighting club where she works as a waitress and which belongs to Zurab. He learns from there that she owes a lot of money to Zurab, and now she works for him in his fighting club. Boyka asks for the address of the fighting club from one of the men of Zurab, and he gets there that night. As he enters the club, he sees two fighters fighting and Alma distributing drinks to the spectators. After the fight ends, Boyka meets Alma, but before he can tell her anything, Zurab's men come there and take him out of the club. Outside the club, when Boyka insists on meeting Alma, the men push him to go away. Boyka gets angry and beats the men while Zurab is seeing him. Seeing Boyka's fighting skills, Zurab asks him to fight for him, but he refuses and goes away. As Boyka goes away, Zurab instructs his men to keep an eye on Boyka. The next day, Boyka again goes to the community center and successfully enters it after beating the guard on the door. He approaches Alma and tells her that her husband died because of him, but it was an accident. He says to her that he wants to help her pay off the debt that her late husband owes to Zurab, and he offers him the money that he won in the fight. But she refuses to accept the money and tells him to go away. Next, we see Zurab telling his manager to find him good fighters as his club is not doing well these days. Meanwhile, Boyka comes there, and he offers to fight for him, and a deal is signed between Zurab and Boyka. The deal states that Boyka will fight 3 battles for Zurab, and in return, Zurab will pay off Alma's debt. Before Boyka leaves, he asks Zurab for a training center to practice at, and he gives him one. Kirill calls Boyka and asks him to return to Ukraine because the martial arts tournament is about to begin. The next day, when Boyka is going to the training camp, Alma comes there, and she tells him not to fight for her and to go away. He answers that he is fighting for his past mistakes and not for her. While he is practicing in the training center, the other fighters bully him, and he kicks the fighter in the face. That night, Boyka has the first fight, and after an intense fight, he defeats his opponent in the ring. After the fight, when Boyka is sitting in the dressing room, Zurab tells Alma to bring Boyka a glass of water. While giving him the water, she offers him the chance to practice fighting in her community center, as she learns that the people in the training center do not allow him to practice fighting. The next day, she takes him to the training room in the community center, and she tells him her husband used to practice there. While he is practicing in the community center, the orphan children gather outside the training room to see Boyka practicing. Alma comes and tells the children to go away, but Boyka tells her to let the children stay. That night, Boyka fights two brothers who are widely known for their fighting skills. Initially, Boyka does not know how to fight them, and one brother hits him on his back, causing him much pain. During the fight, when he sees Alma, he starts fighting again and eventually defeats them. After the fight, when he is practicing in the community center, Alma brings him an ointment for his back, and she even puts the ointment on his back. Boyka asks her why she did not leave the city after the death of her husband, and she answers that she could not leave this city because she and Victor had a dream to spread the community center and keep all the children safe. She says if she leaves the community center, the children will become criminals. On the other hand, we see Zurab, who is bribing the warden of Rasein prison to release Koshmar, a prisoner and monster fighter, to fight Boyka. The warden seems reluctant to free Koshmar because he had once before done so, which almost cost him his job. Zurab believes that Boyka will not defeat Koshmar, and he offers to give more money to the warden after the fight. After that, Zurab comes to Alma's community center while she is busy washing the dishes. He tells Alma that he knows she has allowed Boyka to practice in her community center. He warns her to stay away from Boyka because he is a wild animal who killed her husband intentionally. When he sees her reluctant to obey him, he goes away after pushing her against the table. Kirill makes a call to Boyka to inform him to return to Ukraine that night at 9 o'clock because the press in Russia is waiting for Boyka and his posters have also been displayed on the roads. Boyka assures him that he will come back tonight because this is his last fight this evening. As he returns to his residency, he finds Alma in her room. She asks him to tell her in detail what happened during the fight between him and her late husband. He tells her that her husband was a brave fighter, and he fought in the ring till the end, but Boyka did not know that that fight would take his life. Upon hearing about her husband's last fight, she screams and runs away from there. After that, Boyka reaches the club for his third and last fight with Kazmir, who is the only champion of Zurab. The spectators will get to see a fascinating fight that evening as both fighters fight with their complete strength. Eventually, Boyka defeats Kazmir, and the whole crowd cheers him. Boyka walks out of the club because he thinks Alma is free now. But before he can go any farther, Zurab approaches him and tells him that Kazmir is not his champion. Rather, his actual champion is Koshmar, who is about to arrive at the club. Listening to Zurab, Boyka gets angry because the clock is about to hit 9 and his time to leave Ukraine is near. Zurab threatens him that if he does not fight Koshmar, he will cancel the deal and take control of Alma. Boyka agrees because he does not want to cancel the deal and enters the ring, where he finds Koshmar chained and 4 policemen holding him. The fight begins, and Boyka starts blowing at him, but his punches are ineffective against him as he is a tall, muscular fighter. Koshmar hits Boyka so hard in the face and stomach that he falls for a few seconds. Boyka learns that if he hits him on the head, he can defeat him. Then, he starts kicking and punching him on his head, and once he falls, he first breaks his arm and then his leg. When Koshmar seems a little down, Boyka hits him in the stomach, causing him to fall out of the ring. He defeats Koshmar, and the crowd stands up and cheers for him. As Zurab sees Koshmar defeated, he tells his men to kill Boyka, and he holds Alma hostage. 2 men beat Boyka with sticks, and he faints for a while. When he sees Alma crying when Zurab is taking her away, he gets up and beats the men. While he is beating Zurab's men, a man opens fire on him, and he falls. Before the man can open fire again, Boyka takes a guard's gun and shoots him dead. Zurab also opens fire on Boyka when he is dragging Alma out of the club, but Boyka evades his fire and runs after him, although he is severely injured. Outside, Zurab threatens Boyka to lay down his gun, or else he will shoot Alma dead. He puts down the gun, and Alma bites Zurab's hand. As Boyka runs for Zurab, he shoots him in the stomach, but despite this, he jumps over him and starts beating him, and he chokes him to death. Then, the police come there and arrest Boyka. And after 6 months, Alma visits him in prison. And she says she has forgiven him. If you like our effort, kindly subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss our new video.